exposed to?
We knew it would be bad. Wildfire exposure is bad in general. And there was a lot of homes, obviously, tragically burnt during the LA wildfires, which expose us to other chemicals than you traditionally get from just a tree, organic matter type of wildfire. So we expected it to be bad. I don't think we expected it to be quite as bad as it turned out based on Brian's results. Brian, why don't you share your results with us? What did you see on that test that you had performed after the LA wildfire?
All right, if you look at this data, you just see red, like down the line. And let's walk through a few of these chemicals.
So you got a baseline and then you got, this is after, is that right? Just to clarify.
That's right. When the LA fires happened, I had measured a baseline toxin level before for a different therapy. So I was potentially one of the only people in Los Angeles who was being measured for toxins, and I got a before and after shot. So I did the baseline, I forget, a month or two before. And then I did this follow-up, I think on like day 5 or 6 post when it was still ashing. And it lists out, like Mike was saying, the various toxins, like the industrial grade toxins, all the stuff you would see in burning homes and burning cars. And it just basically loaded up my body with every single toxin they measured to the, like, between the 75th and 95th percentile for intensity.
And what was really interesting is that the toxins that we saw elevated make perfect sense when we think about what was happening, right? So homes were burning. So you were being exposed to things like phthalates, which are plasticizers, which basically just means they're chemicals added to plastics to make them soft and more flexible. And these are things like MEHP and BP, all things that we would see from burning homes. When homes burn, tons of plastics are burning. We were seeing a lot of increase in VOCs, again, from other burning organic materials. And these are things that we would also see from like burning solvents, from household products like cleaners, foams, and sprays. And both of these, the plasticizers, as well as the VOCs, have lots of terrible effects on the body. So things like reproductive developmental issues, increased risk of developing asthma and allergies, carcinogenic, basically everything you can think of regarding inflammation, affecting DNA, oxidative stress, these chemicals are going to do. And these went from, as you were mentioning, Brian, from like 0 in your normal life to 95th percentile, meaning like we compare you to the rest of the population. Out of 100 people, you have higher levels than 95 of them, which is pretty impressive.
This, of course, is not meant to scare anybody. It is to say that there are various sources of toxins. And when that does happen, I guess we want to identify what toxins are entering the body. So I guess like 2 layers. One is, if we can just baseline, it's not a good idea to generate toxins in society that bathe all of us in toxins. And then the second thing is, when we do have events like fires, which are out of our control, then that's a second vector that gets to us as well. And so maybe we can bridge to what things we're doing once we're exposed to these toxins. But keep in mind that when I had this exposure, I stayed inside for the majority of that time. And I had multiple air filters and a MERV 13 air filter on my HVAC system. So I was pretty decently prepared to cycle through toxins, but it seems like it made a minimal difference. Now, if someone else was in the same environment and was outside and had no air filtration systems in their home, then it could have been worse.
You said something there I want to comment on real quick. We're not trying to scare people. Like, maybe a little, because maybe it's not we're trying to scare people, but getting scared is the side effect of knowledge in the situation. Because I think so many people don't understand about air pollution in general, or even its effect. Like where I live, I have friends that still sleep with their windows open when there's a wildfire nearby because they don't want to run their AC and they want it to cool off their house at night. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like knowledgeable, educated people are not aware of the effect that air quality often has on their health. And that's a problem we need to fix. And so if some people get scared, like, I don't know, like, not that big of a deal to me in terms of like educating people and helping them understand like how to take better care of themselves.
Yeah. And what we're trying to do in society is say, one, there are things that are within your control, our control collectively, like fireworks. There are things that are outside of our control. Don't be scared of those things happening, because throughout history, this has happened time and time again. The only difference here is that we know, and we're going to learn from it. And 3, using that information, we can try and test protocols for how we can go about preventing this. Because preventing the wildfire, not using these materials in construction, it's probably going to be very difficult. But what we can learn from this is, like, if you are exposed to toxins, which is going to be inevitable going through life currently in society, here's how maybe we can start to scientifically attack, like, is it possible to remove these toxins from your body, and how quickly, and how difficult it's going to be, how accessible it's going to be. We're trying to give a path for, like, let's actually, like, tackle these big problems.
For those of you interested in the gory details, let me just